27. The topic is aggregate demand. When we talk about aggregate demand, we're not talking about individual demand anymore. Because individual demand means consumption, your own consumption. The normal demand, the ability to buy certain products at a given price. That is individual demand. But when we talk about aggregate demand, here we're talking about the total demand in the economy at a given price. Do you get the point here? The total demand in the economy. That means the total spending in the economy. That is aggregate demand. Do you get the point, please? Great. So, aggregate demand is the total of all demands or expenditure in the economy at a given price. So, we call it aggregate demand because it measures the total of all what I consumed, what you consumed, what the firms have consumed, what the government has consumed in the economy. That's why we call it aggregate demand. Any questions about that? Thus, the total expenditure applies to national expenditure. So when we talk about aggregate demand, we're still talking about the national expenditure. National, that's the country expenses. Do you get the point here? The country's expenses. I am part of the country, you're part of the country, we are part of the country. So all our expenditures are what we call aggregate demand. Any questions about that? Great. So for national expenditure, they have different components. How do we know what this is, what this is that, what this is, what that is? We need to know. That's what we call the components. So my spending has a name. Firm spending has a name. Government spending has a name. But when we combine them together, we have our aggregate demand. So put it in mind. Aggregate demand is the same as national expenditure. I think the first point is clear. Aggregate demand is the same as national expenditure. So in the exams, they might ask you, define or explain national expenditure. It's the same as defining or explaining aggregate demand. Any questions about that? Clear up to now, right? So what are the components that we put together to have our national expenditure? I told you, individuals will spend, government will spend, firms will spend. We're going to export, we're going to import. All these are spending in the economy. That is what we put together to have our aggregate demand. So let's see the components of each aggregate demand or national demand. The first one, consumption. We're talking about consumption. We're talking about things we buy. Individuals, things we buy to consume in either goods or services. So this is the spending by households on goods and services. So it's our spending on things like television set, like the phone, like the food we eat, like the clothes we put on. These are our spending as individuals. Consumer goods. Individuals spending on consumer goods. These are consumer goods. What do I call it, please? Consumer goods. So that is the spending. Please stop that immediately. That is consumer goods. Any questions about that? Then we go to the firms. The firms do not invest for consumption. They invest for production. Please get the point here. Individuals spend to consume. Firms do not spend to consume. Rather, they spend for production. So investment. So you represent consumption with C. Investment is I. So here, this is the spending by firms on investment goods. What are investment goods? We are talking about capital goods. What do I call this? Capital goods. So this is what firms spend on because they want to create other goods, and they can only create with using capital. Capital creates more goods. Capital is used in the creation of production or goods and services. So, investment, spending by firms on investment goods or capital goods. I think that is clear. Is it clear, please? Yes. It is represented as I. The third one, government. The nation, the economy cannot be complete without the government. Government takes charge. Government is in control of the economy. So what do government spend on? Government spend on current accounts, like salaries, wages. They have government establishments, government parastatals, ministries. Government pay their salary, yes or no? This is current spending. What do I call it? Current spending. Like wages that government pays, salaries that government pays. Like the government, the Ministry of Education, they pay me certain amount of money. It is wages, but it's part of government spending. Those that work with the government, they get their salaries at the end of the month. That is government spending, current spending. Then, that is not the only thing government spends on. Are you here, please? That is not the only thing government spends on. Government spends on building new roads, new schools, new health care centers. These are also what government spending.
Public schools.
What?
Public schools.
Public schools, yeah. So these are new public schools, not recurrent expenditures, new. That is an investment. Do you get the point here? So that is represented as G. Then we go on to exports minus imports. What are exports? Exports are our spending. Foreigners buying from what we produce domestically. Do you get it? Foreigners buying what we produce domestically. That is exports. Then we have imports. We, government, firms, buying from foreign businesses. Goods that are produced from abroad. That is imports. Do you understand the difference between import and export here? Export means we are selling to foreign customers. Import means we are buying from foreign businesses. Any question up to now? So look at what I wrote here. Export minus import. This implies to the total amount of money spent by foreigners on domestic goods. The total amount of money foreigners spent on domestic goods. That is exports. Then, less the total amount of money spent by households, firms, and government on goods from abroad. That means we are importing. It is part of spending, which is still our national income, and national expenditure. Any question about this? No. Thank you. So the formula for the aggregate demand is consumption plus investment plus government spending plus export minus imports. Do we get it, please?
Yes.
This is aggregate demand or national expenditure. So look at it again, how we got this formula. We consume, we spend, right? Consumption is part of our expenditure. Investment, firms, they buy. Capital goods is part of expenditure in the economy. Government spends on paying salaries, current spending. Government spends on providing new roads, new schools. That's part of government spending. G. Then our exports, things we sell to foreign customers. We had it. Then we take away things we bought from foreign businesses. Any question about aggregate demand? So this is all about aggregate demand and formula. So they will ask you, well, if they had to solve the national expenditure or aggregate demand, it's still the same formula. C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Any question about this? C stands for consumption, I stands for investment, G for government spending,